Good day everyone, I am Ruffa tungkol sa Macasang second year. Now I'm discussing the physical development, cognitive development, social-emotional development of late childhood intermediate school. So let's start the late childhood, the intermediate schooler. How do you define intermediate schoolers? Late childhood is generally defined as age 9 through 12. May call this stage as pretense, playful, physically active. Let's proceed to physical development of the intermediate schooler. Early puberty. On the average, girls are generally as much as 2 years ahead of boys in terms of physical maturity. Puberty change start when the brain triggers the production of sex hormones. Change during early puberty. Girls, small lumps from behind the nipple may occur, which sometimes could be painful, but eventually the pain goes away. The vulva starts to increase a bit. The vagina gets longer. The uterus gets bigger. Hairs will start to grow in the armpit and pubic area. And for boys, may also have swelling on their chest but tend to go away within a year. Subtle increase in testicle size, penis, and scrotum start to grow. Semen may be released when he is awake or even during a sleep. Hair will start to grow and become thicker. New hair will start to grow and the armpit and pubic area around genitals may start developing chest and facial hair. Height, weight, and muscle development. Many of the bodily structures like the liver, muscle, skeletons, kidneys, and face follow a normal curve of development for both girls and boys. Increase in bodily fat. Girls appear to be chubby while boys tend to have more lean body mass per inch of height than girls. Insecurities. At this stage, children may become very concerned about their physical appearance. Girls especially may become concerned about their weight and decide to eat less. Boys may become aware of their structures and muscle size and strength. Implication to child care, education, and parenting. During this stage, children are more physically active, however, they still have a lot of physical maturity to undergo. Here are some points to consider for healthcare providers, teachers, and parents. Provide ample opportunities at home and at school for physical exercises and sports. Encourage children to participate in varied worthwhile activities until they are able to discover the ones they are interested in. Develop a strong emotional attachment with your children so as to address any insecurities and social concern. Since children in this stage have more control over their eating habits, provide them healthier food choices. Let's move on to cognitive development of the intermediate schoolers. Initial cognitive characteristic. Their ability to use logic and reasoning gives them chances to think about what they want and how they get. Reading development. Children in this stage is marked by a wide application of word attack. They are no longer into the fairy tales and magic types of stories, but are more interested in longer and more complex reading materials. In choosing books appropriate to their age, consider the following. Consider who the child is, his or her personality traits and personal preferences when choosing a book. Make a selection with the child in mind. Choose an informational book or novel in an area of specific interest. Choose books that encourage discussion and insight building. Attention. Older children have longer and more flexible attention span compared to younger children. Their span of attention is dependent on how much is required by the given task. In terms of schoolwork, older children can concentrate and focus more for a long period of hours, especially if they are highly interested in what they are doing. Creativity. Children at this stage are often explore new things. Creativity in children is encouraged when the activities encourage different responses from each child, celebrate uniqueness, break stereotypes, value process over product, reduce stress and anxiety in children, support to share ideas not only with the teacher or parents but also with other children, minimize competition and external rewards. Impact of media. The dreams of having a television unit in every classroom started in the 1950s. The impact of the use of television and other media like the computer has gained popularity because students are given opportunity to communicate effectively in speech and in writing, work collaboratively, use technological tools, analyze problems, set goals, and formulate strategies for achieving those goals. Seek out information or skill on their own as needed meet their goal. Media and aggression. Violence and aggression are often dubbed as one of the result of media according to the Public Health Summit in 2000. The following are some negative results of media. Children will increase antisocial and aggressive behavior. Children may become less sensitive to violence and those who suffer from violence. Children may view the world as violent and mean, becoming more fearful of being a victim of violence. Children will desire to see more violence in entertainment and real life. Children will view violence as an acceptable way to settle conflicts. Implications to childcare education and parenting. Children have varying intelligence profiles. These profiles may be based on influence on learning and achievement. Parent child care providers and teachers should be able to recognize this truth. Being an eager participant in children's growth and development, understand how to use the children's natural curiosity to help make the appropriate developmental leap in their skill and abilities. Creating an atmosphere where risks can be taken and discoveries made while children remain safe. Let's move on to socio-emotional development of intermediate schoolers. Understanding self-competence, self-identity, and self-concept. One of the most widely recognized characteristic of this period of developmental is the acquisition of feelings of self-competence. During late childhood, children can now describe themselves with internal and psychological characteristics and traits. They most likely employ more social comparison, distinguishing themselves from others. Emotional development. The same with other areas of development, children in this stage show improved emotional understanding, increased understanding that more than one emotion can be experienced in a single experience. Another milestone in this stage is the development of the children's emotional intelligence or EQ. Emotional intelligence has four main areas. First, developing emotional self-awareness. Second, managing emotion or self-control. Third, reading emotion or perspective talking. Fourth, handling emotion or resolve problems. There are five types of peer status. Popular. Frequently nominated as the best friend and know who is rarely disliked by peers. Average. Receive an average numbers of positive and negative nomination from peers. Neglected. Very seldom nominated as best friend but is not really disliked. Rejected and frequently nominated as the best friend but one who is also disliked by peers. Controversial. Frequently nominated as a best friend but at the same time is disliked by peers. Building friends. The approval and belongingness they receive contributes to the stability and security of their emotional development. Peer size also and less supervision by adults is required. At this stage, children prefer to belong to same-sex peer groups. Family. Family support at this stage is crucial. If the children do not find a supportive family when they find their interests, they can easily get frustrated. If families are a primary support system, failure and setbacks become temporary, unsurmountable, rather than something that is attributed to personal flaws or deficits. Implication to childcare education and parenting. Intermediate school children's socio-emotional competency should be viewed in the context of the child developmental age. Healthcare providers, teachers, and parents should be to gain understanding of their child's socio-emotional strengths and weaknesses by encouraging children to talk about their feelings without doing it forcefully. Provide opportunities for children to build relationships with teachers and fellow classmates. Remind children that friendships have their ups and downs, and occasional conflicts and arguments can be healthy. Design activities that allow children to work on their own and discover activities and hobbies that they enjoy. Model healthy relationships.